The first book in the Dollenganger saga opens with a quote from the Bible. So if your grandmother locks you in an attic and makes you read God's word and then quotes something back to her, you can now read this book instead. Just a little life hack for you. In the prologue, we learn that this is a so-called true story, at least as far as this fictional narrator is concerned, with names changed to protect the guilty. Our protagonist, Kathy, briefly considered titling it Open the Window and Stand in the Sunshine, which is a declarative statement, not a title. It's something your mother might have shouted at you a few years ago during COVID. There once was this family of living dolls named the Dollengangers. Gee, that name sounds made up. I wonder if that will become a plot point later on. The beautiful family consists of a father, Chris, a mother, Corinne, a little sister, Kathy, and an older brother, Christopher, living in Gladstone, Pennsylvania. Gladstone. How Pollyanna of them. It is noted that the mother and father look like siblings. Both are blonde with blue eyes. Correction, flaxen blonde hair. Cerulean blue eyes. Daddy is away on business all week long, traveling all over the world, doing PR for a computer company in the 50s. Code for mob. Everybody loves Chris Dollenganger Sr. because he's blonde and handsome and tan. He loves to swim and plays lots of tennis and golf. His boss will regularly eat dinner with a family, and whenever he does, he absolutely sings Daddy's praises. Chris Dollenganger Sr. comes home on Fridays bearing gifts for his offspring, demanding mouth kisses and overly enthusiastic hugs. Little Kathy and Christopher come barreling into his arms the second he walks through the door. Momma gets all bathed and beautified in anticipation of his return. And apparently, Chris Sr. is like some cartoon character with eyes bugging out as soon as he sets his sights on her. He loves his wife and children so much. If his wife's flaming hot love for him were to cool down as they approached middle age, he would want to die. Just die. And Kathy quotes him on that. And later on in the chapter, he will die. And now I'm wondering if it really was an accident. Or did Corinne not tell him she loved him enough and he decided to make good on his promise? After all, Chris Sr. sounds like he would be a man of his word. For 7 years, it's just Kathy and her older brother, Christopher. But then Momma spills the tea that they're about to have a little baby brother or sister. Maybe 2 brothers, or 2 sisters, or one of each because the doctor thinks she's pregnant with twins. Christopher, who wants to be a doctor one day, but maybe not yet, is grossed out at the idea of a couple of babies jiggling around in Momma's tummy. Or maybe he's a 9-year-old who doesn't really like caressing his mother's pregnant belly right now and she should respect her child's boundaries. Kathy has a bee in her bonnet over the idea of not being the youngest anymore, so that Friday night she refuses to run to Daddy when he calls out to her from the foyer. Later, Daddy comes to Kathy's room where she's sulking in bed, and he's very displeased with her because her complicated emotions at 6 years old are an affront to his masculine pride. "I'm sorry my daughter's a spoiled brat who only loves me for my money," he basically says. What the hell does money have to do with it? She thinks she'll be forgotten when the babies come along, so give her some damned attention and let her know she's full of it. But in a nice way. He finally gets around to saying what he should have started with. He tells her he'll always love her just as much, even if he has another daughter. He gives her a musical jewelry box and slips a ring on her finger like a man proposing to his girlfriend. But get this. He gives her a garnet ring. Her birthday is in April. The birthstone for April is a diamond. Why the hell is he giving her a ring with someone else's birthstone on it? Whose birthday is in January? Does he have a second family and a secret daughter out there she doesn't know about? Is that why he travels so much? Is he getting his daughters mixed up in his mind? So he gives her a ring with some other daughter's birthstone on it, and meanwhile informs her that she is his favorite daughter, no matter how many other daughters he might have. In the future? In the past? Who could say? But she must never tell anyone else that she is his favorite because a healthy father-daughter relationship is dependent on the daughter's ability to keep weird conversations to herself. So the babies are born, and Kathy hates them at first. In all fairness, everyone reading this book will grow to hate that whiny little Carrie. The twin boy Corey is okay. Kathy soon grows to love them both, which is a good thing because guess what? She will soon become responsible for their round-the-clock care. Then comes Daddy's 36th birthday party. But instead of Daddy walking through the front door to be surprised by all of his guests, it's a couple of police officers bearing bad news. Daddy died on the highway. But it wasn't his fault, says a cop. It was some other a-hole driving in the wrong lane, and Daddy would have lived if only some final destination chain of events hadn't occurred in order to guarantee his fiery death. And here's the burned evidence we found lying in the middle of the road for you to look over in front of all of your friends. Sorry to bust in on you like this. I see you're celebrating something. Hope we didn't just go and ruin that for you. Kathy is devastated. She runs outside so she can scream and cry and pummel a tree into oblivion. Corinne is oddly calm as she goes to cheer up her daughter. Months pass. At one point, Kathy makes it seem like it was weeks, but in another part, she makes it clear that it was months. Momma never seemed to do much mothering, but now all she does is sit and write mysterious letters. And then one night in August, she sits the kiddos down to tell them that they're going to live at their grandparents' mansion. The siblings have never met these grandparents before. They didn't even know these grandparents existed, and that is because when Corinne was 18, she did something to displease them and was promptly disinherited. Chris says he knows what disinherited means, and then goes on to basically restate what Momma said and act like he's so smart because he knows how to paraphrase a conversation. Kathy thinks it's annoying how smart he is. Of presumably average intelligence herself, she can't keep up with Big Brother, so she resorts to silent mockery. The kids learn that their real last name is Foxworth and that Dollenganger is a fake name. Called it. And even though it's late at night, they will have to hurriedly pack up 2 suitcases for the 4 of them because greedy Momma needs 2 for herself, and most of their stuff is being repossessed. Kathy has to leave the ballerina music box behind. They sneak out like thieves in the night. Are the feds onto them or something? Did the police figure out Chris Sr. was the victim of a hit and determine that Corinne was behind the whole thing? She sure does act like a guilty person. But if you think that this book will eventually elaborate on her reason for haste, you'll be disappointed. It never does.
Toxic